Two portals lead to certain death. Choose wisely.
Whoa, wrong door.
When it comes to video game titles, Blood is probably the most succinct. It is one word, it's one syllable, and it is totally descriptive of what you're getting. This might be tame in 2021 standards, but back in 1997, this was mind-blowing. Wow, you had blood stay on the ground! Amazing. Blood is brought to us by the fine folks over at Monolith Productions, makers of the games Fear, Condemned, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, just to name a few. As a game studio, they've been active for decades and have quite the pedigree behind them. Night Dive Studios got the permission from Atari, the rights holder to the Blood IP, to work on Blood Fresh Supply, and it was released in 2019. This new version of Blood features quality of life improvements, controller support, Vulkan support, support for higher frame rates and resolutions, all that fun stuff. Back in the day, first-person shooters were not known to be these narrative devices, so the story is just kind of there, but I'll explain what's going on. The year is 1928, and you play as Caleb, the gunslinger, who's also a member of the Cabal, an evil organization that's done shady stuff since time immemorial, like whatever cults do, I don't know. And not just a member, he's one of the Chosen, the upper tier, the double platinum member of the Cabal. One day, you and your chosen buddies are brought before Chernobog, the Cabal's evil god leader, and he's not pleased with you. He tells you haven't sold enough dietary supplements and vitamins and you need to pump those numbers up, and in order to motivate you, he takes away your love and your friends, and then throws you into an empty grave. So you wake up, pissed off, and ready to kill everyone who stands in your way. Gripping, isn't it? But it serves its purpose. You're a pissed off guy, you're trying to get revenge, kill everybody that's in your way. Pretty simple stuff. Blood features one of the funnest arsenals in first-person shooter history, in my opinion. It plays it safe for the first half, and then gives you additions that are really out there and weird, and I love it. Weapons sound punchy and fierce, and almost all of them have an alternate firing mode on top of all that. Blood features a great shotgun, single barrel fire for the primary mode, and double barrel fire for your alternate, just as good as the super shotgun from Doom 2. The flare gun is great for taking out hordes of low-tier enemies. That never gets old. The dynamite is where it's at. Press and hold your primary fire to chuck it and have it explode on impact, or use your alternate fire to light a longer fuse. Great for bank shots. Later episodes up the ante with weapons like the spray can flamethrower, so you can totally channel the inner pyromaniac in you. The Tesla cannon, a rapid-fire weapon that eats ammo like crazy and melts enemies like nothing else. A voodoo doll, which is basically a hit-scanning weapon, but it is fun as hell to use. Those poor rats, though, that's tough. And the Life Leech, which isn't like the BFG in Doom, it's actually kind of underwhelming. If you don't have any ammo for it, it'll use your HP instead, but the damage is so low, it's not even worth it. Its alternate fire is essentially a sentry gun. That's pretty useful, but it uses all the weapon's ammo. One thing about this game that brings me so much joy is the feedback you get when you kill enemies. Check this out, for example. Bodies absolutely fly after they get hit with explosions. Cultists will scream for their lives when they're blown apart or set on fire. It's glorious. Zombie heads will pop off of their bodies and can be kicked around like soccer balls all over the level. In fact, one of the built-in deathmatch levels is a soccer stadium. With a couple friends, you could get a makeshift game going. The level design is something that really shines in this game. The first episode was available free to play as shareware, and it was very memorable to me as a kid. So allow me to take you on a little tour. We wake up in a grave and we start killing stuff. This was definitely a memorable first level. First levels are typically supposed to be tutorial levels. Blood just decides to throw you to the fire and says, good luck. You'll find TNT barrels around that'll blow chunks out in the level for you to backtrack. It's a nice touch that helps levels feel bigger. I guess this is a not so subtle way to get you to blow up cracks in walls. Plus explosions are awesome, right?
Fresh victims for the ever-growing army of the undead.
That's actually a Simpsons reference. Nicely done. This segment here, where we're trying to board a train, is a great example of how hit scanners are just a pain in the ass. We went from 96 health down to 50, then I used my doctor's bag to get it back up to 71, then I'm back down to 33. Crazy. Watch these dummies off themselves. They do that quite often.
Looks like my train's coming.
When I played this back in the Stone Age, the Phantom Express level blew my mind. For an old game, it captured a sense of speed very well, and you do die instantly if you fall off. There was an assault map in Unreal Tournament 99 that took place on a train, and I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever. I think this level in Blood left a mark on me, because I love train levels to this day. More level destruction here. I'm quite strapped for ammo at times. Secrets keep your ammo high, but it's not a big priority for me in first-person shooters. The engine room has a few cultists and zombies, so you can't just waltz right in, but I cleared it out beforehand. Caleb works way too hard.
End of the line.
The train is an absolute wreck, and we just so happen to crash at a carnival, complete with games! Build engine games always touted interactivity compared to other games in the era, like Doom. This is Blood's little showcase here. It's not as robust as games like Shadow Warrior, but it's still pretty neat.
This is better than Cruel-Aid.
Most of these carnival games offer a prize if you win, like a power-up or extra health or something. This one doesn't. Meh. You see signs for JoJo all over in Blood. I guess he's got a wild act, and we're in town to see him. Then people just start shooting at me. That's the official story.
I want JoJo! I want JoJo! JoJo! JoJo!
Caleb is a big fan, as if you couldn't tell.
Step right up.
Caleb is fed up with the whole situation and decides, I'm gonna do this myself.
Ta-da!
Things start to take a turn once we hit the Dark Cathedral. We've got ominous chanting, we've got hit scanners everywhere. Good times ahead. I had a rough time trying to kill everyone here. The goal was to use the jump boots and carve a path to the courtyard, which we'll see later. But I do remember thinking the coast was clear and then getting sniped, because these cultists and fanatics, they don't play. And this is when things go just right. Limited invisibility is just too good. It's probably the best power-up in the game. It's not like partial invisibility in Doom. Enemies can't see you at all, even if you shoot them. So you can run around like a ghost and burn everyone up like so. The napalm launcher is Blood's answer to the rocket launcher that you see in so many first-person shooters. Very dangerous. I was just testing it, that's all. I knew what this was. The way the screen shakes violently when there's explosions. And that's like all the time if you haven't noticed. All goddamn day. It's awesome. We're on the second to last level in episode 1, the Great Temple. And did I mention I love the dynamite? A really weird glitch happens here. I don't know if there were two cultists on the right and I happened to kill one, but one launches towards my platform, missing me at point-blank range twice. That just doesn't happen. I have to inch my way through and aggro them with my shotgun, because one fraction of a second and I'm dead. I'm not in their line of sight below, so I can just lob dynamite and just blow them up. It's great. Blood has a lot of setups in the game for ambushes like this. This happens to be one of my favorite ones. It rewards good speed and good movement to get out of it. Those cultists, man, they're just not too careful, are they? If I haven't sold the point before, blood is fast. The blue tinge you see is the reflective shots power-up that, according to the manual, causes bullets to bounce back at your attackers. But it's kind of useless with zombies, because they only melee. These kill boxes are pretty common, but this one is super generous with its guns akimbo power-up. I'm really fighting for my life here. I hear the cultists in the background, and I know one wrong move and I'm dead. As this guy pegs away at me. Gargoyles are tenacious, but somehow not your biggest threat in episode 1. That would go to hit scanners by far. Then I realized, oh, I do have ammo. I don't know why this particular kill tickles me so, but it does. Another arena. This is before the boss of episode 1, so they just want to throw everything at you. There's a guns akimbo power-up in the center, but screw that. Dynamite. Blood has great monster variety, but in episode 1 you just get gargoyles, cultists, zombies, fanatics, and that's it. In the age of shareware, they locked all the additional content behind a paywall. I played this game for a long time, and never knew you could shoot TNT bundles that were thrown at you. But there I am, eating 54 damage as a result. Only 3 intact bodies come out of here. There were way more than that in that chamber. After this, we're on to the boss of episode 1, Chiog, the stone gargoyle. Chiog and the Cabal have done horrible things to your love, and now they're all dead. This is probably the only time Caleb ever emotes. It makes sense, it's a very pivotal scene. The stone gargoyle shows up from time to time as an enemy in the other episodes, but in episode 1, there's just one of them and it's a boss. He's not that difficult, just circle strafe and you'll be fine. Which I'm not doing, but okay. I've got guns akimbo, and I'm using all my ammo because he's just a giant bullet sponge. And I think I don't have any ammo. But wait, what's this? Oh, this'll do the trick. And here's one more for the road. And that's episode 1. Episodes in and of themselves feel cohesive. They either link directly to each other from the exit of one level to the entrance of another, or you can see glimpses of levels gated off in the distance, a sign of things to come. This game is a love letter to the horror genre as a whole. So naturally, you'll see references here and there. You've got Friday the 13th, you've got Evil Dead, you've got The Shining.
Here's Johnny.
There's just way too many to count in this game. Caleb is voiced by Stephen Weyte, who does a tremendous job.
Whoa. Oh, just me.
Back in this era of first-person shooters, you just had to have vocal protagonists who belted off lines from your favorite movies, a la Duke Nukem.
Good, bad, I'm the guy with a gun. You're going to need a bigger boat. Come out, wherever you are.
His delivery throughout is great. He also laughs maniacally when he's butchering enemies. Caleb is not like this weird Asian stereotype like Lo Wang.
That's no ordinary wing.
Or a muscle-bound, roided-up meathead like Duke Nukem.
You wanna dance?
He's his own thing.
Take it, please.
I don't have many complaints about Blood, but one of them that is a glaring issue is the amount of damage enemies do on well-done difficulty or higher. If you were playing this blind, there is no way to counter this at all. Quick save and quick load are going to be your best friends. As you saw during my tour of episode 1 earlier, hit scanners make some levels a complete slog to deal with. Even the zombies hurt. Let's, just as an example, take the first level and the very first enemy you face, which is a zombie, and let him hit you. He does, on well done difficulty, 22 damage. Granted, this is a rusty axe he's hitting you with. It's not a Nerf bat. I understand, it's going to hurt, and you probably shouldn't be staying still in order to get hit. But if you're new to these kinds of boomer shooters, it's something to be aware of. On the higher difficulties, things hit harder, play accordingly. Blood got a sequel back in 1998 entitled Blood 2: The Chosen, and I'll let it speak for itself.
No, please, no.
Yeah, don't bother. If there's any interest, I would be happy to do a video on it in the future. If you enjoy first-person shooters and want to see the history of them from way back in the day, or you're just looking for something retro, Bloodfresh Supply is a great buy. I'll provide links to purchase it in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Suggestions for game reviews are welcome, and there's more to come. Thanks again.